After their second encounter, it was followed by several more. Rebecca couldn't seem to resist the girl because it felt like her body was craving her. It was like a drug that had thoroughly captivated her. "Hey, Becca. You seem lost again." Jane greeted her friend. Rebecca cleared her throat and adjusted her seat. "Did you get it? Here." Jane placed the iced coffee that Rebecca had asked for in front of her and sat down beside her. "What's going on with you? It seems like your coffee breaks are becoming more frequent." Rebecca didn't respond immediately. She wasn't really into coffee. She preferred milk tea. But ever since she started spending time with Sam, she found herself having coffee all the time. She had tried to restrain herself several times, but she couldn't. "Nothing," she replied curtly. "Oh, has Miss Sam texted you?" Rebecca froze and suddenly felt anxious. "Huh? Who?" She pretended not to know. "Miss Sam. Our nurse at the clinic. Why would she text me?" Rebecca's eyes widened. Was she implying what she thought she was? But instead of confronting her, she avoided eye contact and took a sip of her coffee. No one else knew about her relationship with Sam right now, and she had no intention of letting anyone know. "And no, it's nothing. Besides, what's the point? We're both women, right?" she replied, trying to downplay it. Jane rolled her eyes at Rebecca. "So what? Miss Beautiful and Sexy. Such a waste. Really? You're her type." I was even ready for her. "What?" Rebecca raised her voice slightly, shocked. Jane flinched and looked at her in surprise. "You like her?" Jane winced. "Huh? Well, yes. Ms. a lesbian. That's why I went to the clinic for." "Stop. She's a nurse at our school, Jane. Don't get involved with her, okay? You're overreacting. Didn't you hear what I said? You're her type. So even if I strip in front of her, she still won't pay attention to me." Rebecca calmed down again. She had suddenly felt annoyed at what Jane said. Did she really think Jane would try to steal Sam from her? Rebecca paused. Why was she even thinking that someone would rush into a relationship with Sam? They didn't have a relationship, after all. She felt a sinking feeling. "Jane, how do you even do that?" "What?" Rebecca asked. "Sex. Don't you like having sex with your partners?" Jane inquired. "Huh? I do. But it's just sex," Rebecca replied. "Just sex. What's that? After you've had your fun, it's over. You don't care about each other anymore?" Jane questioned. "Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? Sometimes you need to loosen up a bit, you know? Let's go back to the club. Are you in?" Rebecca's eyes narrowed. "No, you ask too many questions," Rebecca sighed deeply. "It's just that, for me, sex is sacred and should only be between married couples. Okay, maybe for same-sex couples too. But shouldn't you only have sex with one person? The one you love?" Jane burst into laughter. "Friend, wake up. Sex nowadays is just a pastime. As long as you're safe and clean, you have nothing to worry about." Rebecca shuddered at Jane's words. She couldn't see herself doing that. Whether with a woman or a man, she would prefer to have sex with only one person. "What you're saying is so difficult. Aren't you afraid?" "Oh, please. Rather than giving myself to one person and getting hurt, I'd rather enjoy everything, right? You should give it a try," Jane said with a smirk, which made Rebecca roll her eyes even more. "You know what? I can't understand you anymore. Lately, you've been asking so many questions about sex, about same-sex relationships, but you always seem to oppose it. Just admit it to me, you have a crush on me, don't you?" Jane teased. Rebecca nearly choked on her coffee. She happened to be taking a sip through a straw when Jane said that. She coughed and snorted, feeling like water had gone up her nose. Jane burst into laughter as if thoroughly amused. "You're such an attention seeker, you take everything so seriously, whatever. Come on, we're going to be late for our class. Fine. But let's swing by the clinic again. Rebecca became nervous again. The clinic? Why again? Is something wrong with you? Jane shook her head. No, nothing. I thought maybe you'd want to see Miss Sam. Pretending, are we, Jane? Rebecca gave her a stern look, but deep down, she couldn't help but feel a bit thrilled. The truth was, she couldn't wait. She and Sam were going to meet again later that night.